The Wire's setting, the city of Baltimore, is known for being the show's main protagonist. However, there are definitely two main villains, Stringer Bell and Marlo Stanfield, who seem to be heavily linked to each other. Let's look at both of their opening scenes. Now, Stringer's first scene establishes his skill in threatening people and the way in which he wants to be perceived, that being as a businessman. So much so he gets credit from McNulty.
But he didn't call me back.
Nicely done.
You called Detective Barlow?
Yeah, twice.
This immediately tells the audience he is powerful and feared, that Stringer commands, which is something he wants but not his main goal, which in reality his main goal is to be a legitimate businessman. This fear is the thing that Marlo wants to achieve. Now, Marlo's opening scene is in heavy contrast to Stringer. He literally comes out of nowhere, which is the point of his character. He's a sickness, a symptom of Baltimore, comes out of nowhere, not expected, and shows that fear and control which Marlo has.
What's up? Look what they did to my ride! Do it or don't, but I got some place to be.
So it establishes both of these characters and their goals. Stringer Bell in a legitimate place of business with a business suit on, with Marlo coming out of nowhere from the street. Now, Stringer truly wants to be a legitimate business owner, which is shown very well throughout the show, in which we see him attending business classes.
Then demand is said to be elastic, but some products are inelastic, meaning a change in price does not affect demand. Some key factors that affect the elasticity of demand are what? Mr. Bell?
Desire, consumer need.
Right, specifically the ability of a consumer to delay acquisition.
The show also showing his weakness at the fact that he is, while smart, never the smartest person and would regurgitate what other people would say to him.
Remember Friday? Take home test. Well done, Mr. Bell.
Mr. Lucas, you got 5 minutes?
Absolutely.
This is expanded on further when Stringer goes into business with Clay Davis, in which it's really made clear how much of a novice and his naivety has cost him.
Went down but nothing for B&B.
You're expecting what?
Payout. A big payout for what we put in, man. Federal dollars on them Howard Street rehabs.
You gave money up front?
$250,000, yup.
To Clay Davis.
How you know? What you said? He's running game? Nah, hell no, he ain't that brazen.
And he doesn't really help himself at all, getting D'Angelo killed, sleeping with his girl, betraying Avon, trying to make a deal with Omar, who literally doesn't play by the game's rules, etc, etc. Now there's an interesting scene between both Marlo and Stringer, which we get this line from Stringer.
You smart, man, I could see that. I wanted you to choose somewhere safe for us to speak, but goddamn. Only bugs and this motherfucker gonna have legs. Nah, I appreciate smart. But you gotta know in this game, man, it ain't enough.
Just again showing the audience The Wire's incredible writing, and what was the downfall for both Stringer and Marlo. And it's a very interesting scene, as Stringer is basically trying to act like he is teachers and saying what taught him, whilst Marlo, being the ruthless killer, he's figuring out whether or not to kill Stringer or not. Meanwhile, Marlo is doing the opposite to Stringer, trying to get respect on the street, which Stringer already has. From his dealings with Bodie, which funnily enough has Marlo playing with a golf stick, something which is associated with successful businessmen.
I'm being a gentleman about it for the moment.
And does his best to try and prove himself on the street, killing Bodie, destroying the co-op, getting Prop Joe killed, all of which he proves himself to be a capable gangster. However, as the show goes on, you start to see why he couldn't earn the respect on the street.
Wait. What? You want it to be one way?
Man, I don't
you
know
want
what
it to
you...
be one
Man,
way.
stop! Stop saying that.
What is the other way?
The most obvious example of this is when Junebug, due to him basically stating Marlo was gay, in which Junebug's family is brutally killed due to that comment, which it showed Marlo's insecurity and almost lack of belief in his own ability to be the king of Baltimore, which is greatly demonstrated in his "My name is my name" speech, where we actually get to see the real Marlo, who talks big whilst literally being in a jail cell.
It was bullshit, man. You ain't need that on your mind.
What the fuck you know about what I need on my mind, motherfucker?
My name was on the street. And we bounce from this shit here, they're gonna go down in them corners, let them people know word did not get back to me. Let them know Marlo stepped to any motherfucker, Omar, Barksdale, whoever. My name is my name.
Which brings me to each character's respective last scene. Now Stringer's last scene, like Marlo, is ironic as he says,
Yeah. I ain't involved. I ain't involved in that gangster bullshit no more.
which is obviously just not true, as we see the type of person he is, and is killed in a way that isn't cinematic or anything, killed in a building which looks similarly to the boarded up housing that Chris kills his victims in. Stringer dying as a gangster.
Well, get on with it, motherfucker.
Marlo's last scene is also very chaotic, as we hear people talking about how Marlo was killed, foreshadowing the fact that despite the way he died, his legend will continue to live on, whilst Marlo's won't.
Listen, motherfucker, I know what happened to him. Ain't no police had nothing to do with it. No New York boys neither. So Omar got an AK, right? But he's surrounded. It's like 8, 9 motherfuckers up there in the...
Marlo approaches the guy and agitates him in order to get a fight, with it being stated that despite Marlo being quite infamous when he was around, he is now forgotten, and for the first time we see him vulnerable due to being cut with a blade. And at the end of that, Marlo, forgotten, now living the complete opposite way he wanted, as now Levy has got him to be a legitimate businessman, while Stringer, whose entire goal was that, died and lived in the way in which Marlo wanted, poetic justice. So overall, that's the dichotomy between Marlo and Stringer. Both wanted what the other had, both tried the hardest, and their fate ended with them being the complete opposite of what they truly wanted.